Bitcoin just did something it has not done since October, back when it was $10,000. This could potentially 4x Bitcoin price. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Ooh, shakalaka, what's going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's episode, we're going to talk about something that Bitcoin just did that it hasn't done since October, way down here, back when Bitcoin was $10,000, and since then, the price has skyrocketed. Well, my friends, Bitcoin just did it again, and that could potentially mean some enormous gains coming up for Bitcoin. Now, before we get into that, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, and let's get into things. Guys, this week in crypto has been awesome. Everything in the dark green. Bitcoin up 18%, ETH up 28%, DOT 28%, Cardano up 82%. The fanboys are happy. Well, guys, I gotta say, this is just the beginning of good things to come. I mean, right now we're just basically retouching the previous all-time high. That was, an all-time high a few weeks ago. But February is generally a bullish month for Bitcoin, and we've had a couple things right now that are looking really good for Bitcoin. So, first thing is, we were just talking about this head and shoulders last week, right here. Shoulder, shoulder, head. And that basically predicted the $39,000 to $42,000 price, which we hit. So we predicted that one exactly. But guys, even bigger than that, there has something that's gone on that has not happened since, let me draw it for you, way back here. Okay? It's just happening right here. And what I'm talking about is a golden cross. So basically, with crosses, we have a golden cross, we have a death cross. The golden cross is when the longer time frame and the shorter time frame actually cross in a bullish fashion. So here, the blue line, the MA50, actually crossed above the orange line, the MA200. And that's actually a very bullish indicator. So, what could this potentially mean for Bitcoin? Well, if we expected to do what it did last time, we could potentially see a 4x from where prices are right now, and that happening in about 3 months or less. That will put us at about $160,000 by May. And guess what? April, May, June, typically very bullish months for Bitcoin. Now, that's not all that's going on, because that's the technical part of it. But when you do some analyses, you have to take a look at the technical aspects. You also have to take a look at the fundamental aspects. So, in case you guys weren't paying attention last week, MicroStrategies pitched Bitcoin to 1,400 public companies. Well, what happened with that? Basically, they were saying, hey, buy some Bitcoin. And as you can see here on the Coinbase Pro outflows, these big red candles mean that companies are buying a lot of Bitcoin. But MicroStrategies' Michael Saylor was probably showing people what happened with his stock since he bought Bitcoin. I mean, take a look at this. NASDAQ is the blue line, flat line. Bitcoin is the orange line. We know that one. But MicroStrategies invested a lot of their money in Bitcoin, and look at that. Their stock goes up even higher. So it seems to be a very good strategy for companies who want to increase the price of their stock. But that's not all, because we have big funds like Bill Miller's flagship fund buying GBTC. Maybe they're not investing in Bitcoin, but they're investing in GBTC, and to exposure of up to 15%. Before we talked about potentially 5%, we talked about people dipping their toes in with 5%. He's saying, hey, up to 15% of its $2.25 billion in assets in Bitcoin. That's crazy high, especially because we just heard a few weeks ago Jim Cramer telling people to buy 5%. This is going to become the common narrative where they're like, hey, put 5 to 15% in Bitcoin. You want something that's not going to be deflated with the US dollar. You want to have it in Bitcoin. You want to have, people have been saying for years, you want to have your gold, you want to have your silver. Now they're going to be saying you want to have Bitcoin, you want to have 5 to 15%. Now, is this causing, is all this causing this price? No. What's causing this price right here is a little bit of retail FOMO, because we're reading these news articles. Because really, the large companies buying Bitcoin don't affect the price. And let me show you why. If we take a look at simple economics, supply and demand. So basically, supply has an inverse relationship with price, and demand has a one-to-one linear relationship with price. Maybe it's not linear. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's the same. It's not inverse. So basically, if demand increases, price goes up. If supply decreases, price goes up. But we have both of these going on at exactly the same time. So on one hand, we have all of these companies, like I said, 1,400 companies just introduced to Bitcoin. We have all of these companies buying Bitcoin. And when they buy it, they're decreasing the available supply for purchase from people like you and me. Well, pretty much every company is buying about $500 million worth of Bitcoin. That's actually 1,000th of all the Bitcoin out there. They're buying up a lot of Bitcoin, each one. You have 1,000 companies, there goes all the Bitcoin. But not only that, we have the increased retail interest in Bitcoin, all right? And they're putting between 5 and 15% of the $100 trillion of retail investment money into Bitcoin. So that's the increased demand. Both of those are going to cause the price to skyrocket. And that should have been a drawing tool, so you could have an up arrow. To skyrocket, just like that. That will all cause the price to go up. Now, right now, Bitcoin is batting up against previous all-time highs. Okay, so Bitcoin previously $42,000 all-time highs. And what Bitcoin has been doing recently is it just bats a couple times against a high. So we have one there, we might have two here, but guess what? We have pretty much a straight line from the bottom of the bullish megaphone right there. We also have the blue line, the MA50. So most likely by the middle of February, we may see a break above previous all-time highs. Actually, within the next few days, we might see it. So good times for Bitcoin. Could potentially 4x in the next couple of months. That would be awesome. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll catch you later. Peace.